Good morning, everyone. We are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and it's a beautiful morning. We have finished a grand championship American college cricket here in last 5 days. Finally, I got opportunity to sit with founder and chairman Lloyd Jodah. Lloyd, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
How do you feel 5 days of intense cricket here in this beautiful stadium that a lot of people never get opportunity to play and experience it?
Well, it's funny. We've been coming here since 2009 and actually playing in the stadium from 2010. So it's always awesome being in this environment. But it might be funny to some people, but at the end of the championship, I feel just about the same way as I did at the beginning, because it's what we came to do. And once you got it accomplished, it's that like you're doing your job. So absolutely, yes, it's awesome to be here. Awesome to have had the great cricket we had. We saw some really tight matches and so on. So anytime, any opportunity I get, I want to repeat the experience. And of course, we get the chance to do that every year.
Lloyd invited me from Dallas, Texas. I came here and my experience has been visually stunning, extraordinary to watch some young cricketer all over USA playing. And I also saw one team coming from Toronto.
Yeah, those are some of my alumni because the Canadian universities are still not able to travel. Canada had much stricter restrictions than most parts of the USA. So about 10 alumni still wanted to come down, be a part of the experience, enjoy the area and so on. So they came down, and I figured since they were coming down, I'll give them a chance to play in the stadium. So we had a friendly game in the stadium.
I saw Hassan, and Hassan mentioned he has 32 teams under Canadian college cricket, and here we have American college cricket. Can you explain all this network of colleges and universities?
Yeah, so I founded American College Cricket. Our first tournament was March 2009. I founded the organization from about November 2008 and worked on creating teams all over the country. So basically, we created college cricket in the USA. Anybody playing cricket in the universities before that were not really playing college cricket. They were playing in local leagues, etc. And so we defined what college cricket is, which is really simple. You've got examples all around you. And unfortunately, cricket had not looked around and follow American models of anything. And it's one of the major reasons that it's been kept back. Because, so I set out to do it on the model of other sports in the U.S. by having college cricket. So I then set about developing teams. Most of the teams that have played American college cricket, over 100, were actually started by me together, working with students and so on, and schools. And then from 2015, Hassan Mirza and Obaid Babar from Ryerson, two awesome leaders who had brought Ryerson up every year, asked if they could start a Canadian college cricket. And because I knew what kind of leaders they were, I figured these were the guys to do it. And so they founded it based on American college cricket principles and with my guidance and mentorship. And yeah, they've done an awesome job up there. But basically, it's almost like a younger brother or sister organization to American college cricket. And Canadian teams still continue to be able to be members of American college cricket. So at least 4 will usually come to the American College Cricket National Championship. But of course, we've been primarily concerned with developing the game in the United States and establishing a platform that could effectively say we have college cricket. And we've been successful in doing so.
I want to highlight to our viewers, it's a network of 100 plus over the past 10 years, universities, colleges in USA as well as in Canada. So this is a pan-America network that Lloyd has created as a pioneer. I see that you use a lot of technology I was sitting in that room and I see black magic switches, mixers, and top class microphones and cameras, multi cameras. You have been doing it from a long time. Streaming has been integral part of American college cricket. Can you highlight why you adopted the audio video approach towards cricket with live commentary, person like David Sentence and you and many others doing the commentary also?
Well, it was a natural part of what my goal was coming into cricket in the United States, because I had lived here for a long time and not been involved. But I was very, to put it nicely, disappointed that cricket had made no inroads into American society. In fact, when the New York Times covered our first tournament, they said cricket was not even a blip on the sporting scene in the United States. So I wanted to change that. And you don't change that by simply playing games in a field where nobody sees you. So that was the initial motivation to do that. And we did. So, for instance, the very first live stream of cricket in the United States ever was done by us in 2010 March, right here on the stadium field. Then we progressed to TV in 2011. Again, we were the first to do any TV in the US. And it was 2021 before USA Cricket televised 3 matches, whereas we had done it way back in 2011. Then in 2014, we did ESPN. It's still the only cricket in the US to be on ESPN. And I'm deliberately mentioning these touch points because they're very indicative of giant steps for the game in the United States. From 2016, we've been with Sony and we continue to be with them. You know, for next year, we'll get back to doing a big production with them. The time was too short to get that accomplished now. And these are all steps meant to get the game up to a more, shall we say, professional level. Because a professional level doesn't necessarily mean paying cricketers like we have all these money tournaments. I don't have any negative viewpoint on them, but it's how you define the game. You need a professional setup, a professional infrastructure, so that there is continuity and so on. And that's what I consider professional. And people can rely on your standards and so on. You've seen we have a lot of standards for various things. And that's really the definition versus pickup games or amateur games and so on. So yeah, it was a deliberate attempt to broaden the reach of the game.
So I've been cricketer myself as a player, as an administrator, but what I see is you have all the professional elements, even though the intent is not professional. It's a grassroots cricket from colleges, but the standards that I've seen, the equipment that you have used, facility that you're leveraging here in Florida, everyone is in their uniform with the university name and American college cricket. It has been branded beautifully. So what's your overall vision moving forward, after 10 years of journey for American college cricket?
Well, strictly speaking, it's more like 13 years. COVID did knock us down like everybody else and prevented any forward movement in that period. But the vision really is exactly what we've been doing, and we've accomplished it basically, but like everybody else, we were severely affected by the lockdown. So in 2010 March, we were going to be broadcast on Sony Live in India. And you can imagine the huge audience we were going to be exposed to. And that to me is the top of the mountain. And we got there. Unfortunately, the lockdown happened. But to put it in perspective, I'm a big fan of Don Bradman. And as amazing as his accomplishments were, he lost some of his best years to the World War II. But how can you quibble about that? This is a worldwide event that's negative in its impact on the entire world. So you put aside your loss, which in the context of the bigger picture is almost nothing, and then you start back. So having the championship this time was important to have. Keep it small so there are no concerns. and just basically make your impact in a different way, because making your impact is not dependent on numbers of teams and things like that. It's other factors. In this case, it was playing in the stadium for 5 days.
Being a cricketer in Dallas, I see new cricketers are coming less, and same with USA cricket. I see the cricketers are coming, but they are coming by design for professional domestic cricket. But this system is very organic. People coming from cricket playing countries as a student, and they may not even know that cricket exists. One kid I met yesterday, he played and he made 128 runs in 3 games, and he was so excited being part of here and sharing the same lockers that big players international players have shared, and playing on the same surface that these international cricketers have played. So they get very motivated. Overall, the system is a lot more durable. How you would also compare the quality of cricket, the talent that is coming, and of course, the excellence in education. Then they will get a job, they will get married. So how you see cricket in their life, in college and beyond?
Well, the American model is straightforward and it's there for everyone to see. But unfortunately, cricket people have never done what the old saying says. When in Rome, do as Romans do. Instead, cricketers have come and played in remote fields and so on, and basically kept themselves out of mainstream society. And the game cannot survive, it cannot grow like that. So what we do, as we've talked about, we've made it visible. And having students come and so on is an important part of that, because many of them have talent and they would otherwise not be playing cricket here. Take the case of Saurabh Netravalkar. He has quickly established himself as one of the greatest bowlers in U.S. cricket history. He also captained USA to ODI status, a remarkable achievement. Saurabh came to the U.S. with no knowledge of cricket being played in the U.S. As he said, he didn't even bring his cricket shoes because he didn't know he'd be playing. Of course, he's a former India under-19 player, so he's immensely talented. But unless you get a platform, your talent goes nowhere, right? He fell into the team here and played in an American college cricket tournament, a couple of them up in the Northeast. And then next thing you know, I did an all-star weekend, just the Northeast teams versus the Mid-Atlantic in New York. He got up in the morning at 4 o'clock, caught a bus, and traveled 6 hours to play in, I believe it was just 2 games. So, that shows remarkable commitment on his part. And he's such a humble player, too. He played under other captains, despite his pedigree, when I selected him in the all-star team. So subsequent to that, I made him the captain, because my goal was that once he met the residential qualification of 3 years in the U.S., he can get into the U.S. team just by virtue of his background of playing for India in the Under-19 World Cup. And sure enough, he got in the team. They made him captain, and we got ODI status. So his story is actually a story at a heightened level of what American college cricket is about.
I see this college cricket is feeding directly into the professional domestic cricket in USA and even international cricket in the future. Some of the players, Ryan Scott, have been selected in USA cricket. Marvelous achievement, excellent platform for these cricketers who want to pursue it beyond college.
Definitely. And, our primary goal is just like other college sports in the U.S. Our platform is our highest as far as we're concerned, as far as I'm concerned, because most of the players, for instance, in basketball and football, 99-point-something% of the players never go into the professional league like the NFL or the NBA. And that's also what I want for college cricketers. However, the exceptional ones like Saurabh and so many others, we've been placing players in the USA team and Canadian team since 2010. Those players, they have our support, and we also highlight them. And again, Saurabh, Adrian Gordon, Akeem Dotson, so many others have made it into the U.S. team, and in Canada, Kushru Wadia, Raza Rehman, and many others. Right now, Nicol Dutta and Saad Zafar are two former American college cricket players who are on the Canadian team, but they also play in professional leagues like the Canadian GT20 and the CPL.
I've been organizing cricket in US from last 20 years, but what keeps you driving, because cricket requires a lot of time, and not only time, efforts and resources like this field and ability to nurture relationships in the universities and uplift and uplevel these clubs to altogether different level of cricket from regionals to nationals here. How do you find so much time? What motivates you? What is your driver towards this platform? And you have been going on since last 13 years, and I don't see any near time that you are going to pass the baton to somebody else. I see very active person, involved deeply into American college cricket. What is the intrinsic motivation? I want to
Simple.
understand.
If you're not an athlete, a player, basically your shelf life, let's say, extends a much longer period. I can actively contribute on the cricket field maybe into my upper 30s, but then beyond that, your abilities, your athletic endeavors, etc., lessen and lessen, generally speaking. But as somebody using their brains, let's say, you can go, into your 80s even, right? I'm not saying I'm going to be doing it into my 80s, but there's no limit really except the limit that you decide to accept. And what I found with American college cricket is that everything about it I was very clear about. In life, we're fortunate if we can find an area where we feel not only something we love, but a clarity in what we're doing. To date, from the beginning of American college cricket to now, I've found that I've done everything that I wanted to do that was within my means, because resources do limit you, or lack of resources do limit you. But my ideas and etc., I've been able to execute, and they've all been correct. And we've accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. People define success in different ways. For most people, it's money. For me, it's what we've done with American college cricket. We've made cricket a presence in universities around the country. We've given the game a real chance in the U.S. Back in 2015, Wisden wrote a bit where they said perhaps it was because of the achievements of American college cricket that ESPN decided to invest in a 5-year contract with the ICC to broadcast international cricket in the United States. Now, imagine Wisden saying that. And there was a real truth behind some of that, because we really showed that cricket had some hope in the United States. There are no guarantees, but we showed that they have some hope. This is why in 2014, ESPN put on the finals of the American College Cricket National Championship from right here. And up to now, no other cricket in the U.S. has been on ESPN. So that kind of success is in itself a motivating factor and a huge driving force. And then, like I said, the knowledge that I seem to know what to do in this sphere, and I'm getting the success from the work put in. So you don't mind staying up until 1 o'clock working on a project every night for years if you're getting results. It's kind of like if you're a bodybuilder or you're in fitness in general. When you see results, it motivates you to do more. If you're not seeing results, you get frustrated, perhaps throw up your hands and give up.
So overall, I see American college cricket has a very distinct, unique profile in USA, as you described. Plus, I can testify the extraordinary experience that these cricketers are having, and even visitors like me having here. Great exposure to young cricketers in US. It's going to help, I see, not only in their job but in their life. The experience, the team building and the competition performance, the challenges a team face. So overall, a great story. I want to also tell the viewers that Lloyd is a singer. I have seen and captured some singing in the karaoke space. So why don't you just sing a couple of lines just for fun? Anything that you like.
Yeah, well, as a singer, I'm willing to sing anywhere. So let's go with an Elvis, Can't Help Falling in Love, which happens to be, it might be number one in the US for wedding songs, but a survey found that it definitely is number one in England for wedding songs. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you.
Wow. It's a lifelong passion, sheer passion that keeps driving us on that beautiful song, on that note. Thank you so much, Lloyd, for spending time.
Thank you, Raja.
Take my whole life